New York may soon be the 5th state to legalize gay marriage. CNN has learned that the governor, David Patterson, will announce on Thursday his intention to introduce the controversial legislation. Former Governor Eliot Spitzer introduced the same bill back in 2007. It passed in the state assembly but died in the state Senate. Similar measures have been approved by courts or lawmakers in Connecticut, Vermont, Massachusetts, and Iowa.
Just last hour, New York Governor David Patterson called on state lawmakers to legalize same-sex marriage.
After the unfortunate accident of Proposition 8 that passed in California, it left a number of advocates in a place of complete confusion and stunned disbelief. Right here in New York, at that time, we were musing about when marriage equality would pass in the Senate. Then we changed it to whether or not it could pass in the Senate. Then the discussion became whether or not political opposition could stop a bill from coming to the floor in the Senate. And now, that devolving of energy has moved us to a place where we're actually debating whether or not the governor should introduce a bill on marriage equality, when in fact, the governor introduced a bill on the same issue in 2007. So what we have is not a crisis of issues. We have a crisis of leadership. We're going to fill that vacuum today. I'm putting a stop to it. I'm introducing a bill to bring marriage equality to the state of New York.
New York would become the 5th state to allow same-sex marriages if it passes, but a similar measure failed to pass a legislature in 2007, and opponents say they can defeat it again.
New York's top court issued a resounding no to gay marriage. Today, it is a decision that allows no appeal in the courts. Now, Tim Minton is live in Greenwich Village, where activists are gathering to protest the ruling. Tim?
Ralph, the vote in the court was 4-2, and there'll be no more debate there. So the people here are hoping their shouts will be heard in another part of Albany at the legislature.
Judges of the court.
5 weeks after hearing arguments in one of the country's most passionate debates, New York State's highest court laid down the law. A ban on gay marriage, supported by top Republicans in Albany, is constitutional.
I think it was clearly the right decision, upholding the laws. People have understood it in New York for more than 200 years.
In the deciding opinion today, Judge Robert Smith writes, there are rational grounds on which the legislature could choose to restrict marriage to couples of the opposite sex. Despite the advances of science, it remains true that the vast majority of children are born as a result of a sexual relationship between a man and a woman. As a second reason, the court adds, the legislature could rationally believe that it is better, other things being equal, for children to grow up with both mother and father.
They really didn't have much to say other than that it should be decided in the legislature, and some ridiculous arguments about the children.
In a stinging dissent, Chief Judge Judith Kaye writes, this state has a proud tradition of affording equal rights to all New Yorkers. Sadly, the court today retreats from that proud tradition.
Well, the court chickened out today, but it's for the legislature to do the right thing.
Which could mean more waiting for same-sex couples. A lot more. State Senate Majority Leader Joseph Bruno made clear in a statement today, I am opposed to gay marriages because I believe in the sanctity of marriage between a man and a woman. The Court of Appeals has made the right decision.
It is obviously important to all of us that homosexual marriage does not become the law of the land. Let me tell you that for every logical argument we can bring to show that it's a very bad idea, the other side, spreading the stain of secular socialism, will bring 3 better arguments that it's a very good idea, and then it's simply our argument against theirs.
It turns out that you have to go into rehab if you use the word faggot. So